Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Two Bros, Two Perspective podcast. Back again, I'm JJ.
What's up, everybody? You already know I'm Steven. What's going on?
Not much. It's Sunday early again. Was it hard getting up this morning?
Nah, I didn't drink last night. That's why I was on time today. I was a couple minutes early. I got home at work. But before we get started, hold on.
Okay.
Got a little something. We don't plan this stuff. So. First of all, we got a birthday edition.
Oh, birthday edition
So
today.
JJ Big Bro's birthday is tomorrow. And so I got a couple little
shit.
party hats, man. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So we put on the party hats real quick. Damn, see if this shit don't pop on my head. So we got this for all the homies that can't be here, but also got your little something, man. It ain't much, but happy birthday, big bro. Appreciate
shit.
you.
Maker's Mark.
You know what I'm saying? So last night when you said, "Oh, I got me some Garrison Brothers," I was like, "Man, this fucking Maker's Mark ain't gonna be shit." But
No, Maker's Mark's good.
just a little something, man. I just wanna say happy birthday.
Appreciate you.
Everybody wish him a happy birthday. Just want to say a few words. Appreciate you, respect you. Always been a good big brother. Always been there. Never judged me. And even if he did, never let it be shown. Did what a big brother supposed to do. Always there. Good advice since we was a kid. So if we had some shots, I'd toast you right now. Appreciate you. Happy birthday. And let's get on with the show. Everybody wish him a happy birthday. So
Yeah, I would say yeah, but it's 7 in the morning right now.
That's
what
what I said.
Got going on
That's why I said if. Oh, I ain't got shit going on. I'm gonna buy some meat when I live here.
Oh
and
shit! All right.
I've got a case of beer. I'm thinking
A case.
Yeah, I always buy a 12-pack, but I'm on vacation. I guess you call it
Okay.
vacation. I'm off till next Thursday, but
Yeah.
plan to get drunk all fucking day.
All
Be
right.
honest with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, then you want a shot then? Fuck
Huh?
it.
You wanna take one?
Yeah,
I'm down. Fuck it, let's go. Set it up. I'm good. Hey, let's try. I've never had that one.
It's good.
Yeah, so I don't plan shit. I'm gonna buy some meat when I leave here. Probably start cooking around 12. Probably start drinking about 10, and just get fucked up today, man.
I feel that.
Isaiah's off tonight. He works nights, so he'll probably have some. I told him we'll have some drinks tonight too. So
Cool. All right, well, cheers. Appreciate it.
Cheers, happy
Maker's
birthday.
Mark. Maker's Mark. My go-to is Jameson, but Maker's Mark is like my third probably.
I saw Jameson, but they had a few different ones, so I wasn't sure which one. Dang, I'm wearing a shot.
Yeah, it's good.
Good. Let's try that.
It's not bad. It's a smoother one. That's why I like it.
Damn, that is good.
It's not. It's a smooth one. Yeah. So.
It's smooth, but still got a little.
Oh yeah. So yeah, appreciate
So
that.
happy birthday, 7 in the morning. We're here drinking.
Fuck it.
Garrison, fuck it. Happy
Steve
birthday.
say he wants to get drunk all day, then we'll,
Hey, I'm
we'll
gonna
start
get-
right now.
I'm gonna get fucked up today. So I don't know what you got planned, but that leads me to something else.
Uh-huh.
So we went out last night.
Yeah. Have drinks. Dinner.
We hang out every Sunday, but it's very rare that we hang out, all four of us,
Yeah.
the wives.
Yeah.
Everybody's always busy, but actually it was probably a year ago that we all four hung out.
Was it last year?
'Cause it was your birthday.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
At the Rustic.
The rest is
Good
good.
play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, okay? Because you and my older brother, my older brother-in-law, y'all be fucking me up because I remember last year we went to the Rustic
Mhm.
and Cynthia bossed up and was like, "Nah, I got this."
Yeah.
Never go out with my older brother-in-law. It's all of us, mother-in-law, all the brothers.
Hmm.
He paid for everything.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, fuck. Now it's our turn to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So last night I paid. I don't give a fuck. I was already planning on paying because I'm thinking, I'm like, well, damn, he paid last year. So
Yeah.
now I got it. And it's not an obligation.
Right.
But for me personally, I'm like, okay, game on, motherfucker. You want to, well, with my brother-in-law, I'm like, I ain't paying for the whole goddamn family, first of all.
Yeah, I get that part.
You know,
Right.
that's
if
a lot.
If I brought the kids and everything, then that's
a
I
lot.
think that's different. Yeah.
But I'm not talking about just their kids. I'm talking about, when we go out for a birthday, it's the mother-in-law, father-in-law, the three brother-in-laws, 10 kids, the wives,
Yeah.
and that food. We went out to Korean barbecue, and that ain't cheap.
Yeah.
And man, I'm looking at Myron, I'm like, fuck, what do we get? First
do
of all,
we-
I don't
how
even
do we
know if
do
I
it?
like this shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was paying yet.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, man, this shit's fucking expensive. What the fuck is this? I don't want to
Yeah.
eat no flower petals. I don't care about that shit.
Yeah.
So
And Korean barbecue is confusing.
And then
To be
he's
getting.
like, "We already kind of pre-ordered what everybody's gonna get.
Yeah,
We're gonna get
yeah.
this." And I'm like, "How the fuck you gonna tell me what to get? This thing's like $150.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the value menu,
Mhm.
which ain't no value menu, but."
No.
Then he busts out with, I'm paying for everybody. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's get this, let's get. But I'm like, damn, now you set the standard. We went to Mother's Day, and he always pays for everybody. So I said, look, I got the in-laws, I got your parents today. No, I got them. No, I got them.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop trying to outdo me. You know what I mean? So last night I was like, okay. I said, I told Marco, man, what do I do? Do I pay for everybody because they paid last year? She's like, whatever you want to do,
Yeah,
it's up to you.
yeah.
So we get there and I'm like, okay, I'll pay for appetizers, drinks, first rounds on me,
Yeah.
whatever. And then she came and brought the bill. I'm like, nah, I got it. Put it on one bill. So when we left, Mara was like, so you decided to just pay for it? I go, yeah, why not? I go, if she would have came with separate checks, I'd have been like, okay, it is what it is, whatever. But she came and she's like, well, first I kind of got a hint, and I didn't care. So don't think, oh, this motherfucker didn't want to pay. I was already planning on paying, but she was. But like I said, if it was said, here's your check, I would be like, well, I was gonna pay, but it's already separate.
So we have a history with Steven and checks, right?
Me?
Yes, you.
And checks?
Yes, yes. But this goes way back.
Okay.
Not recently.
Okay.
Last year we invited, so that's why we were like, fuck it, we got it, right? And that's how I feel. Like if you invite, then probably you should get it.
And that's what I was already thinking.
So, but we were prepared to pay half or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't know because of the history that we have with Steven and Check.
Oh, checks. I'm thinking write a check.
No,
you talking about check?
Steven
Okay.
And
Tell me
Bill's.
about this story,
Okay,
man.
so let's go way back.
Okay, hold on. Before we get started on this story,
Wu-Tang. Back to 99. No, it was in 99.
Look, before we get to the story, so last night we ran into some tough critics. We're YouTube personalities, so we get known everywhere we fucking go.
Yeah,
it's hard. That's why I don't
even
like.
in Midlothian, I knew they recognized us, but they didn't want to say.
I'm gonna start wearing that Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity thing with the mustache.
They just didn't want to say nothing.
Yeah, so we ran into some tough ass critics last night. I guess you could call them our wives.
I guess so. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they want the tea. They want the beef. They want some action.
Yeah,
so this story might lead into, I'm just saying, this story, he's already like, I got a history with Steven and Chase. I don't even remember, but we're about to see where we're going with this.
Because as you know, your sister-in-law is a critic, right? She'll say what she needs to say.
One thing about sister-in-law is she don't give a fuck. She's going to tell it how, and that's one thing I love about her. You know what I mean? Is that she's going to tell you how it is, and if you know her, you're not going to get offended. No, because she's not there to offend, but she's gonna tell you the real shit. And if you get offended, that's on you.
Yeah.
So
anyways, we have a history with Steven and Bills.
Oh, we went from checks to bills.
Not bills. I mean like restaurant bills.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Let's get to this.
So back in the day,
I'm curious.
Back in the day, when we used to go out with mom and dad and Jeremy and Lizette, right?
Okay.
You had 3 kids. I had 3 kids, or maybe it was 4 and 4 back then, right?
Okay.
And we would say, let's go out to eat, right?
Okay.
So then in the beginning, not towards the end of doing that, but in the beginning, it'll be like, Steven be like, well, I only had this, or my kids only ate this type shit, right? And I would be like, well, let's split the check. Jeremy, no, because it was just him and Lizette.
Yeah.
We brought all the kids. I think it was 4 and 4, 3 and 3. I don't remember, but it was mom. It was always
dad, there.
And then me and Steven would have the most kids, and Jeremy Lizette. I was like, let's not make them pay because it's just them two, right? We're the ones who brought the whole family and shit. And then Steven be like, nah, man, you had 2 beers. I didn't even drink. Myra didn't drink. The kids had kids meals, and Chris had a fucking steak or some shit like that, right? Am I lying or not? Right?
I don't remember, man, but I see myself that way for sure.
At first, right? You were not the guy that said, what is gratuity type shit, but you were just like, let's split it. And to me, it was like, let's just make it easy on the restaurant or the waiter or whatever, and let's just split it 2 ways. Right?
Yeah.
Split it in half. But then a few times, you were like, nah, my kids shared My kids shared chicken nuggets. A plate of chicken nuggets, and fucking JJ had a chilaquiles or whatever.
It's because I'm having a pep talk, and I'm like, hey, the shit where we're going is expensive, so y'all gonna share, and when we leave, we'll go to McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? But they always went off fucking script and wanted to order. So,
that's like Dad used to say, you order the most expensive shit on the menu, right?
Yeah, damn, that's funny. But I don't remember that. But
it got better. It got better like as the years went on.
Well, shit, I probably didn't have the money.
And I get it, right? But it was not that it was funny. It was just like, God damn, Steven.
Damn, so y'all used to leave talking shit, right?
Not talking shit.
You had to.
Not talking shit.
But Steven never wants to pay.
We didn't talk shit, but we were like, the next time, we were like, damn, fuck, let's see what Steven fucking orders and shit.
Let's see what he orders.
I guess I can't drink because Steven ain't gonna drink. And one, back then when, I used to drink a lot of beer and stuff, like, I guess I'll have one beer because then Steve ain't gonna want to pay shit.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
So it was funny because we have that memory, right?
Yeah.
So then before we left, Cynthia was
yesterday.
Like, yeah. Before we left yesterday, Cynthia was like, get my ID just in case. And then Bea clowned Cynthia on that, saying, "Oh, you need your ID for drinks? I don't think so." Like, and then she said, "Get my card too." And then. And I said, and I started laughing because I knew what she was thinking, right?
Yeah.
I know your sister-in-law what she was thinking when she said, "Get my card." And I said, "Okay, Steven invited." and I was smiling saying it. I said, "Steven invited. What's the chance he's gonna pay the bill?"
Damn, you already talking about that shit?
And she started laughing because of what, like I said in the beginning, towards the end of us going out with them, it wasn't like that no more, but we still kind of laugh about in the beginning.
And that's what I told Myra. I said, we invited her. Well, but let me ask you, is it an invite?
It was an invite.
Or is it like, hey, let's go hang out?
It was an invite
this time. Yeah. But I'm talking about in general because now I'm not going to ask nobody to go, hey, y'all want to go eat or nothing? And I'm going to wait to be invited because I'm not taking my wallet. And so we send a standard. You tell us what the fuck y'all think. But first of all, I was that way. I said, well, like it goes back to
it was different. You were in a different situation.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to the Rustic last year, a year ago, because it was his birthday. I think it was the Sunday before again.
Yeah,
lucky motherfucker gets his birthday off every year. Labor Day.
Hell yeah.
So y'all invited us, and me and my we were talking. She goes, I go, I'm gonna bring that shit up to her. She goes, oh, I dare you to bring that shit up because I'm like, I didn't mind, but I was like, okay, cool. Well, it goes back, so I'm already thinking that shit, and I'm like. Because that day we didn't drink. It was early, y'all drank or whatever.
Brunch, yeah.
So I was gonna pay.
Last year?
Yeah, okay. Not for you,
right?
For myself.
Oh, for your own, yeah.
We got invited. What the fuck I'm gonna pay for you? No, but I was gonna pay, and then Cynthia bossed up, pay for everybody. Because I was like, damn, they sure are drinking a lot of fucking breakfast. Damn, I'm planning to pay, but they're drinking.
We do brunch.
So I had that on my mind. I said, damn, okay. I said, okay. And I'm glad I did. I said, they paid last year. It's this year. I kind of, because you invited us, or you told me about the pizza thing Monday. We may not make it, and that seemed more as an intimate family thing.
And it's more, we don't know yet because Tony's schedule.
Yeah, so, raining like crazy. So I said, you know what, let's hang out, us, at least for his birthday. So hit you up, see if you want to go have a drink and a bite, whatever. And, but I'm telling Mom, I'm like, then what do I do? The etiquette. Not that I care about paying, but I'm like, what's the etiquette? Like, I don't want to pay. I know they can probably be drinking. It's gonna be high. I know. Veracruz. That's where we went. Shout out Veracruz, Midlo. And I know it's expensive, but I was ready. I mean, ain't no thing. So we get there, and so I'm thinking, I said, how much? And it goes back to, I guess I'm cheap, just like you said back in the day. Like, I got this. What did you get?
So I don't think it's because you were cheap back then. You were a different situation.
Yeah, but I'm still cheap. So I was like, okay, they're not here yet. Let me order some drinks. I was already planning it out. I go, if we get there, we gotta wait. I'm gonna say, hey, first round's on me. Yeah. At least I'm buying something. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, you want a drink or what? You're like, nah, just get us waters. We'll get. I was like, okay. So y'all get there, and then Cynthia's like, oh, let's get some guacamole. I'm like, damn, okay, damn, guacamole, they had already asked me, y'all won't, nah, we're good with chips.
That's why they didn't ask you afterwards.
Yeah, well, they had already asked me, and I'm like, nah, we're good with chips and dip, the free shit, you know what I'm saying? So.
Imagine if we would have said, nah, get the sampler.
Yeah, no shit. Because So she comes, and then she takes your order, and then she flips over to Myra, and then to Cynthia, and then to me. So I'm like, she's already mixing the fucking bill, man. Here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, late, she didn't already say like, is it split or see couple and the couple and say, what do y'all want? I'm like, okay, all right, I guess I'm in for it. You know, cool, whatever. And then the bill comes and she's like, separate or what? I go, nah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I see Myra kind of look at like, oh, so you decided to get it, so we get in the car. And she goes, so you decided to get it? I go, yeah. You know, first of all, I already did. We invited them.
Yeah.
It's his birthday shit. I said, but I didn't want to be like, no, split. How many drinks did you have? So the guacamole put half the guacamole.
That's old Steve.
Hey, so I'm looking and I wasn't gonna get no guacamole, right? And I'm like, she starts. I'm like, okay, that's the guacamole. That's on there, you know, whatever.
You're in here, you're calculating.
And then once she mixed 15. Up the orders, I was like, man, fuck it. I resolved. Like it's already fucked up. I started eating some guacamole and shit. But yeah, I told Michael, I would have been like, okay, so we had this, and what was that you had, Cynthia? How many drinks? And then I know Cynthia would have said, you know what? I got it.
Probably
you know what
so,
I mean?
yeah.
I said, so she probably would have been like, fuck all the dumb shit, the mixing it up, so I got it. So I said, well, man, she goes, no, you're right. I said, it was a good time. We invited them. It's good. But that goes back to, so say I next week is no birthdays, there's no nothing. I'm like, what's up? Let's go have a drink.
Yeah,
am I inviting you to pay?
No, then that's what we'll split it, right? I think.
So split.
I think if we go have, let's say, hey, you know what? Let's go have a drink. Then we'll split it. That's different. Then I think it's because of the occasion.
Yeah.
Birthday.
Because I watch some videos on TikTok and they'll be like a group of people.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, we're splitting it. We're like, what do you mean we're splitting it? All I had was some of the appetizer.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you $50. You know what I mean? And I like, I feel you. You know. But that is it's different. You know, you're in a group of people. You know, it don't matter what you like split it. But what do y'all think? Like, are y'all like, man, fuck that. We're out here.
But then there's times where, like us, when we go somewhere, then a lot of times we'll pick it up because I don't know how to explain it, but it's easier, right?
Yeah.
Because Nicky, when he was working at the restaurant, I remember he was complaining, man, there was a table of 10 people and they wanted like 3 checks. Like it's not easy on the server unless you tell them beforehand. And it's just easier, like you said. If it would have been that, Cynthia probably been like, you know what, give me a card, I got it. Just because it's not.
And y'all work in the service industry, so y'all get it. Y'all get it.
And not just because it's like, fuck Stevens being cheap. It isn't about that. She
but
probably
would have said, but y'all left.
But it's more of like, let's make it easy on them. Let's just pay, blah, blah. But I think like we'll take somebody out to like with Nicholas' friend. His birthday was last week or 2 weeks ago. And we went to the rotating sushi place, right? Okay. So I don't know if you've been, but pretty much there's a cable that goes around and you just grab what you want.
Just
go. And then you pay at the end. There's a little hole you put your plates in and it counts the plates. And then you pay by the plate. And then you can order other shit on the menu. And so it was us plus 2 more, right? So it was Tony wasn't there, so it was 7 of us. And I don't remember, whatever. But anyways, the girls that were with us, they were getting, and then we start putting the plates in. And if you put enough plates, you get like a little ball and it has a toy in it. So I think we were at like 30 plates.
Shit.
Right? Which, whatever, it's sushi. So it's like 2 pieces and you eat it. So they start putting more plates and I think we got to 40. And then one of the girls was like, well, let's go to 50. I'm like, what the fuck?
let's go to 50. No, we should have been at 30.
So then they go to 50 and then there goes one more plate. She goes, we're at 51. Let's just go to 60. I'm like, hold on. Let's not just eat to eat. Let's not just eat to eat. You know what I mean?
So, I was cool with 50. I bit my tongue, but hey.
Let's just not eat to eat. But, they're young, and it's funny because I have a story about his little friend. She came over and I ordered pizza. He has these 2 friends that come all the time. And we ordered pizzas and I brought some 12 packs of drinks or whatever. And it was time for them to leave. So I hadn't eaten yet because I was letting them eat.
Yeah.
So there was an extra pizza and this girl, she's leaving. and she takes a whole pizza, and she goes in the fridge and gets like 4 Cokes. So I'm like looking at her. I'm like, what the fuck she doing? Like, all right, I'll see you later, Nick. Bye, everybody. I'm like, did she just take a whole brand new pizza?
Yeah. It wasn't no Little Caesars pizza or what?
Yeah, it was Little Caesars. Okay. Still, that's not the point of the price. It's the principle of,
both for me.
And she leaves, and I'm like, I told Cynthia, what the fuck she just do? And like, what do you mean? And she took a whole pizza. And she's like, well, what's the problem? I said, first of all, the problem is I hadn't eaten yet because I was waiting on them to finish eating. Second of all, she took a whole pizza. And she went in the fridge and took sodas, and I think she like 2 bottled waters too. I'm like, what the fuck? But then said there's like, you don't know what the situation is, whatever. So I calmed down. But I always laugh about it, right?
Yeah. It's a good memory.
And then, she was at the sushi too. She was the one saying, let's go to 60.
Damn.
But it was fun. It was, so
yeah, something like that. With baseball, there's always a friend that wants to go with us, to go with us, and same shit. I remember got this kid Dylan McGee. Shout out to the McGees, man. Good people, his son's a beast. Got all kinds of freaking D1 offers since he was like 8th grade. He's a phenom. He's been like 6 something since he was like 7 years old.
Yeah,
fucking home runs like crazy. Good fucking athlete. And so we go out, and they're like 8, 9 years old maybe, and like Dylan wants to go with them. Yeah, that's cool. We're going to go eat Buffalo Wild Wings, and we get our little stuff, little 8-piece. Stevie's young, so a little 6-piece.
Yeah.
Dylan comes in with like a 24-piece. Big old fries, and like $50 more than even mine. And I'm like, God damn, this boy, you sure you're not good with the 6-piece? But people like, just tell me how much you spend. I got you. But of course you don't do that.
At times, like that,
and that's why I said last night it wasn't a matter of damn, they weren't trying to pay. I was gonna pay. But I was like, okay, and I told Maya, I go, well, I guess we're going out to eat on them for my birthday because now it's on them. You know what I mean?
But then how does that? We got to invite you.
Well, y'all better fucking invite me somewhere. Goddamn, you know what I mean? Shit, I'm gonna be expected to be invited for my birthday. I was like, took them out to eat, get them a little gift. So my birthday, I better get something. Funny. But that's not why I do it. But like I said, back to my brother-in-law too. Which is cool. That, and I guess that's how he looks at it. Is, I invited everybody, and we'll pay for it. But fuck, man, at Korean barbecue with like 20 people, I had to be a lot of fucking.
No, I mean, even like I said, when I'm talking about what happened with you, that was years ago, right? The kids were little, so nowadays when you go eat, I don't know what the bill was yesterday, but like it adds up quick, just because of the price of stuff or whatever. And some place like Veracruz Cafe, it's not Chili's or something like that where it's like $10 plates and shit. So it adds up, and when you have more than 4, I mean, just us going out at 6, it adds up.
Well, I'm glad y'all didn't drink too much, so that helped out.
I think if we were not at Midlothian, we would have had maybe 1 or 2 more. Because we came back home. On the way home, we stopped. She was like, "You want to stop somewhere?" It's like, "What's on the way?" I said, "Cedar Hill." And we're like Chili's, but I think we didn't want to be that far from home
with drinking and
driving.
Yeah, I get it.
So there's a spot down on Main Street, Los Jefes, that opened recently. We stopped there, had a drink, a shot, and she wanted something sweet. So they had churros and flan, so we got them right there down the street. So we stopped there.
So whenever I do invite y'all, it's gonna be far. So y'all don't drink. Man, we gotta get out of Duncanville.
At least two.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that like I said, it's like, man, now when we go out, now we gotta pay for everybody. Not you, but with my brother-in-law, that's more. But like I said, I planned on it. Yeah. But from now on, I'm gonna be like,
where's the invite?
It's gonna be different now. I'll be like, man, what are you doing Saturday? I don't know. You want to drink? Sure. Well, you said yes. So are you inviting me? I'm inviting you. That's gonna be the conversation. Hold on.
As soon as we sit down,
we're like, are we agreeing to meet together? This is a mutual agreement, right? I'm not inviting you. You're not inviting me. We're just gonna be in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When we sit at the bar, you'll be like, so who invited who tonight?
But it's like when we go out, like me and Maya, like her fucking drinks are expensive. She always gets a double.
Yeah, doubles.
So you're paying double.
Yeah.
And so it's at least 20.
Yeah.
And sometimes
At least,
it's like,
yeah.
And the waitress looked at me funny last time. The waitress came. She goes, "Can I get another one?" And the waitress looked like, "Girl, you don't have to ask you, man." I'm like, "Girl, shut the fuck up. Go talk to another table right now. These grown folk."
Yeah.
But I told her, I said, "Look, when we go out, because I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I'm like, when we go out, I don't care. We're out. You want 2, 3, whatever." And yesterday, I bought her a Crown Royal thing. I bought her one Friday, but a couple months ago, it came with a flask.
Oh, okay.
I like to get those gift sets because they're the same price as the regular bottle, but sometimes you get some shot glasses. I got a flask.
Or some, yeah.
And she was like, "Let's fill up this flask." And I'm like, "No, we're not gonna be looking all cheap, in front of JJ and sit there with the flask." Yeah, ordering Coke. And then plus usually it's packed. I was really surprised.
I was surprised too because the ones that we've been to have been packed.
Well, every time I've gone, it's been packed. So man, it would have been empty. And I'm like, that flask don't care. That's one fucking drink for you, but. She knows how I am. So last night she was like, I go, well, instead of having a lot of drinks, you got a bottle at home. So, but I'm like, whatever. Just like, with you guys, we budget for that stuff. Not that we have to budget, but like,
that's part of your money.
That's part of the money I got to fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was no big deal. But then I added it up wrong. And I remember like, hey, this ain't bad at all. But I did the math wrong and then I did it right. And I was like, okay, never mind.
The tip.
But no, it was. Without the tip, it was under $200. One shit,
okay, Yeah.
And then the tip comes and it's like 20%, is like $60, and I'm like, man, fuck that. Like, motherfucker didn't do $60 worth of tip.
Is 20% normal for you?
Not when the bill's that high. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. I mean, honestly, you think that waiter did $60 worth of waiting?
No, she didn't.
No, she came a couple times, which we weren't a hard table. We got her food. We weren't asking for much.
I don't think it was. But I guess for us, it's the standard of 20%.
Well, I gave 40.
Oh shit! Then yeah, she did. You did 40%?
No, fuck no, $40.
Oh, then that's a $200 bill.
Okay. Oh, is it?
Like
okay.
If it's a $40 tip, then you normally a 20% will be a $200.
Well, the bill was $183.
Then perfect.
Okay,
that's perfect.
So, but it was maybe I think it had 15, 25, or whatever. Because I remember seeing 50.
Yeah.
And I was like
50% tip.
$50.
Oh, okay.
That was say 15, 25.
That probably was like 25%.
So I was like, you know what? I'll go in between. I ain't gonna be cheap. But I mean, even for me, a $20 tip, I think, would have sufficed. You don't think so?
No, not in the not.
Why does the amount of my bill reflect how much they get? They did the same work.
You get a percent. They get a percentage of the bill. I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
We weren't a big party. Hey, you know what? Can we get another one?
You're right, because she wasn't that attentive.
No, we had 4 meals. She brought the meals. She brought her drinks, but like you said, she wasn't that attentive.
I don't think she was.
And they weren't busy.
They were not busy.
She should have been there. We should have never had to ask for a refill. My beer got all the way low. So, I think. But Myra's on my ass. It's service. Whatever. She wasn't rude, but I felt 40 was a lot. But I'm like, whatever.
What's tripped out now is you go everywhere and they flip that screen around.
Yeah.
For a tip, you go to there's a coffee place, Seven Brews, that we go to, and it's a drive-through, right? It's a drive-through. You can't come up to the counter, nothing. There's no app. You just drive through, give me coffee, blah blah blah, and then you go to the next person and they hand them to you, and you pay, and they flip the screen around for a tip. I'm like, I don't feel like that's a tip worthy service.
Yeah.
Right. Even if I feel like if I walk to a counter or I'm going through a drive-through, that's their job.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're at work. If you go, I'm not exactly sure what you do, but if you go to a patient and say, "Hey, your paperwork is all good. Can I get a tip?"
Yeah.
You're doing your job.
Yeah.
So I agree.
But if I sit down and you bring it to me, then I feel like that's different.
But even at that, man, how do they deserve a tip more than the cook that actually did the fucking work?
I think because the server gets like $3 an hour because they make their money on tip.
Okay. Everywhere? That's standard?
At restaurants, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think the barista or the person in the drive-through at Seven Brews gets $3.
No, because they're not. That's not a tippable position.
I don't think that when you go to Starbucks, I don't think they're getting $3 an hour. They're getting their minimum wage or whatever it is. So I don't feel like they're that's a tippable service.
I agree. You know, there's been times when my bill's been $50 and I've tipped 15, 20 because it for me, I've had waitresses come or waiters, whatever, you know, and conversate with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like, hey, dude, I'm trying to enjoy myself, but sometimes it's cool.
Yeah.
So I judge off of that too. You know what I mean? How many times do I have to raise my hand and ask for a fill up? You know, last night they weren't. She wasn't a bad waitress, but I think
it could have been better.
If you don't have tables and you know they're spending bread and you know your tip is going to be high, because obviously they know, okay, this is how much their bill is. This is the standard. You know, earn that $40, $50.
It could have been better, the service, but it wasn't bad, like you said.
Yeah. The food was good.
Yeah,
I ate there. I forgot I had some shit a la Mexicana, some beef, and it was pretty good. I liked it. Myra enjoyed her fish tacos. Looked like y'all enjoyed it. So, you know, you go out, like I said, your $20 tip would have been good for me, but at that point, it's like, what's another $20 going to hurt me? Probably going to help her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. So be careful when you're asking people to go eat, man. You know, make it clear. You know, sign a waiver. You know, find out, okay, am I inviting you? Are you inviting me? Are we mutually meeting? Are we paying? Are we going Dutch? Whatever. Last night was no big deal. For me, it's funny. Like, okay, game on, motherfucker, because next year you're gonna ask me to go to my birthday, and I'm gonna go with the knowing that I don't need to take my wallet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it's all good, man. I'm glad that I'm in a position to be able to do that and you know, invite you out. Well, I don't know if it was still like, hey, let's go out for your birthday. It was like, hey, let's go eat. You know,
you said what y'all doing Saturday or something like that.
Shit.
And then I think part of the thing is too, is we went that way. So that's where the invitation is, right?
Hey, that's not my city. Oh, they want us to go to Midlothian? Hell no, they're paying for this shit. 10 minutes down the road, man. But no, for that, it was convenient for me because I know we were going to drink, and I don't like to drink and drive.
Yeah, I know.
So I was like, Veracruz?
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, I mean, literally 4 minutes from there. So
I was like, I told Cindy, do you want to go to Midlothian? She's like, it's not that far, James.
You act like it's fucking far as hell. A lot of people like Isaiah, I'm like, how come your friends from the hood don't come visit? Like, well, they're not trying to drive an hour. I'm like, it's not an hour.
It's not an hour, but you know.
You know, it sounds far.
Once you pass Cedar Hill, then it's far.
Because from my house to here, it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's only 20 minutes.
You know what I mean? So it's not too bad, which is weird because it'd take me 25 minutes to get to my barbershop in Oak Cliff at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's not 5 minutes from here to there. So
no.
Fucking make it make sense. Maybe because I jump on 20 and come a little bit this way.
Yeah, maybe it's the time you go to the barbershop too.
So, but no, it was a good time, man. I'm glad we were able to go out there. You know, like I tell people, I've said on here, Maya's real quiet, but when she's around people she's comfortable with, she can talk. Last night, and I was like, damn, you ain't even been drinking. You talking like a motherfucker.
Well, she hadn't been around people.
Yeah, she was excited to get out. And you know what's funny? She didn't want to go at first. Well, first she was mad at me. We had a whole ordeal Thursday night, and she was mad at me. Like 2 a.m. Fucking house got flooded. The drain hose from the washer, I guess, popped out.
Oh.
So everything drained out, and it's like 1 a.m, and she's cleaning up the water. I'm sleeping to go to bed, and we're arguing. So, anyways, so the next day I'm like, hey, I'm gonna see if JJ and Cynthia want to go out, have some eat for his birthday. And I just got a text back. So you're just gonna ignore what happened last night or some shit like that? You know what I mean? Like you're already talking about, you know, I was still upset. I had already kind of tried to feel the vibes. Like, hey, good morning, babe. Have a good day. Hey, I'm gonna. She's like, you think we're just gonna ignore what happened last night or some shit like that? And I'm like, okay.
I get those text messages too. I'm like, so like you said, not something similar to that. We're just gonna know what happened.
Yeah.
Or just I guess nothing happened last night. Like it's a new day.
Yeah. Get over it. Well, it wasn't a new day. It happened 1 a.m. So it was the same day. You know, but still, you sleep. It's a new day.
The sun came up.
Yeah. So you know, apologize, whatever. And then she's like, man, every year Midlothian, it's like the bugs are different, and we got a different, I guess you would call it nuisance. So we got ants. And there's nothing sticky. There's nothing. They're just, you know, on my patio, I go send a pet and there's fucking ants. I'm like, where y'all going? Where y'all coming from? What the fuck y'all want?
Yeah.
You know, the first year we were there, some kind of bug I never seen. The second year, like now we know grasshoppers everywhere.
Yeah.
Now it's crickets are the black ones, right?
Yeah.
everywhere, dude. I'm on the yard like thousands just jumping up in the house, and so this year it's grasshoppers, the green ones, and fucking ants.
Ants.
They were on the by our bed, by the windows thing, and got all over the bed and shit. And so she freaks out. I'm a deep clean.
Yeah.
I said, I told JJ we're gonna meet about 7. What? I need to deep clean. I need to clean. I don't have time. I said, you know what? I'm trying to take you out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're choosing to clean. I said, I said, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
I said, but after this, we ain't going out no more. You're gonna clean every fucking Friday night, every Saturday night since you want to choose. But she was like, no, you're right. You know what I mean? Let's go out. This can wait. We got the long weekend. But she's ADD like that though.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want her to clean because I don't want no fucking ants.
The ants are annoying.
But it was a good occasion. So we go out. She had a great time. We planned on going back to the house and drink, but I was so full. I can't eat and drink once I'm full, and she didn't drink. We didn't have no Coke for her crown. And she's like, we'll drink tomorrow. We're off Monday. So, you know what I'm saying? But no, it was fun, man. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm glad, I always, back to your birthday, big bro, I always admired you, I always looked up to you as a kid. So now that we can hang out as adults, it's pretty cool, talk about the kids, where they're at. That's always funny, talking about the damn kids. And I love being around Cynthia. Like I said, she be calling you on your shit. You know what I mean? And me too. She went in on us yesterday talking about the podcast, talking about we suck. Give it up. Y'all whack. I don't watch y'all. Fuck y'all.
I don't watch y'all, but I know everything y'all be talking about.
Man, but I told her that's good. I didn't get offended. I'm like, we need that feedback.
And I told her, put in the comments.
Yeah, put in the comments, girl. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's one thing I love about her, man, is that she gonna keep it real at all times.
Yeah.
And, if you're offended, it's because for one, you don't know her.
Yeah.
For two, well, maybe you don't like hearing the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Cynthia, shout out to Maya. It was a good time.
It was one of those days yesterday for her too. And we'll see if she does really listen. But yesterday, she woke up like in that.
Oh, so she was already on one.
Yeah, man. I was just like, I said, what's wrong today? Like early. Like, what's going on today?
Yeah.
And she just like, it's just not the day. I said, obviously.
Damn.
And then she went to her, I said, so do you want coffee and a sandwich? Because I usually go stop on the way. Just give me a coffee and some bread. So, okay. And it was just, I went to go drop it off and still. She was on one yesterday.
Same with Myra. I mean, and I brought that up. I was like, she pretty much calling us soft and this and that. And I'm like, well, damn, not our fault. Our wives are sad. Because Myra was the same way. Like, she's complaining. Like, I don't like my makeup. And I'm like, we're going out. Be happy. Like, don't ruin it. Why are you so? And I sometimes tell you, you're fucking rude, man. It's so fucking rude. Like, god damn, But then we get there and it's all good.
See, then you got to think about it, right? They're in their 40s. How is Myra?
40. Let's see, I'm 43. She'll be 43 in November.
Okay, so they're in their 40s. Is that age where they start having changes and shit like that?
You finna get your ass in trouble for real now.
But it is what it is.
It is, but
let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. You want the tea? Sister Love, we're gonna talk about it all. Here we go.
So it's you gotta be patient, but at the same time, it's like I told her too. You're just being mean to be mean.
That's what I tell Myra. You're fucking rude, man. I be telling her sometimes, I don't even fucking like you sometimes. I tell her like that. But me and Myra was telling the guy at work, we bicker. Like, we'll be like the other night, man. I forgot. Oh, okay. She went off on me, but I don't know if it's just my wife, it's her, or all women, but she won't take responsibility. So I told you about our washer. If one of the hoses fucked up, I could fix it. But easy fix is when you go wash, just turn the knob. When you get to the spin cycle, you gotta be at the spin cycle. You gotta time it right. You turn it off. If not, the water's gonna keep leaking. The washer's gonna finish, but your clothes are gonna be soaked, wet still. Because while it's spinning, it's still dropping water. So you gotta turn that faucet off. So she goes, so you gotta turn it counterclockwise. Counterclockwise is which way as far as the
left.
Okay. So she goes, which way do I turn it? I go, you turn it to the left. I am turning it to the left. I'm turning to her. I'm like, counterclockwise. I am. I go there. She's turning it right. I go, I said to the fucking left.
Yeah.
But by that time, I was upset. I was chilling. I was laying down watching my show.
Yeah.
And she goes, "That's not left." And I'm like, "What the fuck you mean that's not left? Look, you're turning it this way. That's left, but that's right." I'm like, "Okay, here we go. There's gonna be an argument because it's left, but she's gonna keep saying it's right." Yeah. So, man, fuck you, goddamn, you don't know left and right. So we have our little spats. The thing about me and Mara is we have our spats. She goes to her room, and then I'm like, "Babe, I love you. Come in." We get over it. We're over it. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Not over that type of shit.
Exactly.
So then the next day, I put I don't know. I think I've talked about my stupid ass huge refrigerator that we don't need. But it's half, and then the bottom is this. So you got two halves. We put all our drinks on the left side. Got your beer, got your water, got your Big Red, got your Starbucks, got your. It's ridiculous how many fucking types of drinks we got. Yeah. So I put one in the freezer, and we got two doors, left door, right door. And I put the Big Red on the right side, so they know this is the one that Dad had in the freezer. So she serves me my dinner. I'm like, "Hey, baby, grab me my Big Red. It's on the right side of the refrigerator." Yeah. And so she's on the left side, looking on the right side of the left side. I'm like, "What?" Like, she's like, "Which one?" I'm like, "On the fucking right side." And she's like, "Oh, I forgot." So no. So that happened. We got another splat, whatever you call it, like the washer, left, right. I'm like, "You don't even know it's the fucking right, left, whatever." I shut up. I'm like, "It's not worth it. You're reading my mind." So then the next day, we get fucking Sonic. We go get Sonic in there. Whew, that's good. Everybody got different orders. She gets a BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato.
Right.
Isaiah gets some burger on Texas toast. Stevie gets a double burger, plain, meat, cheese. And I get how I get it. Bacon burger, lettuce, tomato, whatever. She's the one that sent me the order for everybody. Except for me, but she knows what I get. So we get there and she's like, "Who's this who?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, here we go." I'm already knowing this is leading up. We already had the washer debacle the two nights before. Yeah. Then we had the Big Red debacle. What's the right side of the fucking refrigerator? Well, I'm looking on the left side of the right side of the north, type shit. I'm like, the right side of the fucking refrigerator.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said, "Myra, you send me the order." "Well, who's this who?" "I don't know." I'm like, "Okay, you got a BLT. So yours is going to be the one with no fucking meat in it."
Yeah.
I said, "Isaiah got a burger. So his is going to be the other one with the Texas toast."
Yeah.
Stevie's plain. So now you don't know what a fucking hamburger is. And she's talking shit. I'm like, "First you don't know never. What's a hamburger?" And I'm doing that voice. I'm like, "What's a hamburger? What is this? I've never been." I said, "You never, and I'm going off, man. I'm like, okay. And she's going off on me, and we're talking shit. And so I had ordered some jalapeno poppers. Threw the whole thing on because I ordered some jalapeno.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wasn't talking about that. What is this? What is this? It's fucking jalapeno poppers. Well, that's fucked up your whole mind of what, And so I have my tray, and the cool thing, fun fact is
Did y'all eat there?
No, we're at home.
Oh, okay.
That's the tray that Grandpa used, table tray. I took it from Mom's years and years and years ago. So I have my jalapeno poppers right there. I grab one. She walks out the kitchen or room. Boom! Slaps my poppers. And they're all over the counter like, I love my poppers like this. I'm getting mad. Hell yeah, I love it. Like eating the popper off the floor and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But so she goes to the room, man, and I already know as soon as she walks out, I'm waiting for my phone to start going off text messages. "Yes, I know what left and right is. If you're the fucking retard of this family," and she's going off on me. "You don't know what's left and right, and what's a. I know what a hamburger. If anybody, you're the fucking retard." Just going off on me, man. And I'm loving each message, putting the heart emoji.
I couldn't do that.
I'm putting the exclamation. Yeah. Oh man.
And I couldn't do that.
And then what was it? And then I text her. Like 10 minutes later, "Hey, so are you gonna still make my lunch for tomorrow?" And she's like, "Only if you apologize." And I'm like, "Well, if I apologize, can I have a foot rub?" And she's, "No, blah blah blah." But we get over it real quick. But so that shit was funny, man. She's like, "You fucking retard." I'm like, "Damn." Like yesterday, I like to take pictures. I'm like, "Let's take a picture." She's like, "Well, not yet. Let's go blah blah blah." I'm like, "God damn. You want to fucking take a picture with your husband," you know what I mean? But we have our little goals. She talks a lot more shit than I do, you know what I'm saying?
I know, I'll do that to her too. Like she'll take a picture of Bea or something, and I was like, oh, I guess on your social media, you look like a single mom, huh? Right?
Well, you did say something yesterday about, well, I'm never on your stories. Did you say something like that?
Oh, the podcast. The podcast, she never, I guess she reposted, supposedly she reposted it, I don't know. But I'm like, why don't you repost it because she has a lot of followers, right? And I think she even had a post that went like over 1 million views or something like that.
Cynthia?
Yeah.
Damn.
And I said, like,
is it the one where I walked in?
No, it's someone that we had outside. And I was like, you should repost it to all your followers, and then we can get more followers, whatever. Or I even told her, I said, after that 1 million views, you should have jumped on it, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't. And so that's why I was like, I didn't know she reposted. Suppose she does. But when talking about ordering, what's funny for me is when we go order, like we just go to Wendy's or McDonald's, right? And she's like, what do they have? I'm like, bro, we never been to just say make something and that's what they have, you know.
Say McDoodle, and they'll get you something.
We'll go to Wendy's or Sonic.
That's the worst.
What do they have? I'm like, we're in the drive-thru right now.
Oh man, I'm the same way, but it's when somebody in front of me too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you be at fucking Chick-fil-A. Goddamn, you either want nuggets or a chicken sandwich. What the fuck's taking so goddamn long? They only serve one fucking thing. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, I hate that shit too, man. Like,
what do they have? Like, we've been.
What gets on my nerves?
Have you known Wendy's?
What gets on my nerves is she always want to order shit to save money, but she don't order the shit till we're there. So we're sitting in the fucking parking lot. Like, I'm like, dude, that $5, I'd rather just fucking go in the drive-thru than save this fucking $5. Hold on, I'm almost there. And then,
on the app.
Yeah, on the app.
Oh, I'm like that.
Yeah, but we're sitting in the parking lot already of the place.
Yeah.
So we're waiting on the fucking order, and you just see no line and nothing, and then order placed. Oh, we gotta wait another 10 fucking minutes for them to make. Like, time is money. I'd rather just pay the extra $5. You know what I mean? But
yeah, Cindy's like, you got another app? I was like, yeah, I got all the apps. That's why I got free burgers here.
Man, but yeah, sister-in-law let it be known, man. You know, as soon as I brought up the podcast, like she had it built up. You know, she was ready. She brought up a few things, you know, and that's why I wanted them to come on here to I think that would have been good for the viewers, for her to go in like that would have been good. But she didn't want to be, you know, she don't want to be on the podcast. When we make it big, you know.
It's funny. She was like, if I come on, then you're gonna get a lot of views.
Well, then do it. Do it then. You know what I'm saying? Our wives know what's best, you know. And we're discussing that yesterday. I was like, and because I said we're like what, but we kept, you know, when we're together, we jump to different subjects. You know what I mean? Yeah. But she was saying that sometimes you agree with things with me that you don't actually believe in real life. And I was asking her, well, I just was curious because I told Maya we're leaving. I said, I wonder what she was talking about because we do disagree on a lot of stuff. I said, but there's times that we're just talking and when he gives me his perspective, I get where he's coming from. Even though I may not feel the same, I'll be like, okay, I got you. Yeah. I see what you're saying. So you're not really agreeing, but Myra has criticized too, like when something like that happens is go in depth.
But it's not easy when you're sitting here at the time.
Yes.
Right? It's like, you know, when you get in an argument with somebody, it's like, damn, I should have said this.
Yeah.
It's live. We're not, you know, it's live for us.
Yeah.
You know, so she's right. A couple things where I could have brought up something, but I didn't even remember that shit.
You know, like I said, just like the last episode when we left, I think it was like 2 days later. You know, I told you, damn, I should have brought this up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you were like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
You know,
but I mean, we brought stuff up like, you know, me fixing the cars and you don't, you know, stuff that happens at home, and you know, like the other day I had to fix the damn dryer again, and that's stuff that you don't do that I do, right? So that kind of stuff that we always talk about.
And like you know, we do this shit. Like Mara was like, maybe y'all need to plan it, and I'm like, no, we go.
I don't want to plan nothing and say, okay, this is we're talking about this,
which we used to at first, and it was kind of, it wasn't natural.
Yeah, it's not natural.
You know, and but when we record these, I don't listen to them till Thursday.
Okay.
No, I think the first one or two, I was like, hey, send them to me because I just wanted to hear what it was like. I don't listen to them sometimes. I think the last one you were like, hey, we didn't drop today. I was like, fuck, I didn't even realize it was Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I won't finish them till Friday, but as I'm listening to them, for one thing, maybe it's just me. I like hearing myself, but I'll be laughing. I think they're entertaining. I think they're
entertaining, but I know that it's not for everybody.
But when I'm listening to it is when shit pops up.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I should have
talked
like about this.
How you said with Daniel, our cousin Daniel, that he'll comment like 6 times. Because you're saying he'll comment when he hears what he's hearing, right?
Like in the beginning of this one, he's probably gonna say "Happy birthday, JJ."
Yeah.
And then he used to be a server, so when we get to that part, he's gonna be like, "Hell no, this. That's how I am."
Yeah.
And by the time I know I'm commenting on something that I watch, I'm like, God damn, I got like 20 fucking comments.
Yeah.
But it's cool, keep them coming. You know, shout out to Cuz Grace. I told her to start commenting. She started commenting too. I told her I was gonna shout her out, but yeah, you know, she brought up some other things that we may not have time to get into today. You know, family shit. She's like, get into y'all got a lot more to your story, you know what I mean? And which is something we need to get into sooner or later.
We'll talk about real quick Grace and Chris and them. I know we brought up last night that documentary about the Cowboys, right?
The
90s Cowboys. And Chris has been texting me off and on, like, about, because I mean, doesn't remember that. He wasn't born, right? I don't know how much you remember of the 90s Cowboys, but you grow up a fan of what your dad is, right? Most of the time. And dad wasn't a Cowboys fan. And I remember him saying, because of Tom Landry, right? Jerry Jones came in, fired Tom Landry, and I think everybody was fucked up about that in Dallas. So it starts with that. It starts with Jerry Jones buying the team, how he came up, who he was before, and said, fuck, I'm going to buy the Cowboys. But listening to the other people talk, Tom Landry was already ready to leave. He was like forgetting shit. He was an old man, whatever, right? And so I was not a diehard Cowboys fan at that moment because Dad was a Redskins fan.
Yeah.
I was a Houston Oilers fan. That was my AFC team, Houston Oilers. And it's funny because I wore this today because of what happened this last week, but we'll talk about that. But I was an Oilers fan, but I was a Cowboys fan too.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember that 1-15 team with Troy Aikman. I remember that. And I was like, fuck, they suck or whatever. But I would never jump ship on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Like you are mostly what your dad is, but it was fun going against him, right? Having that Cowboys stuff. No, I'm a Cowboys fan. How are you a Cowboys fan? Because I remember everybody giving him shit too. And
because not only was he a fan of another team, but one of our biggest Cowboys. Yeah.
So that part was fun. And you know, they started winning and everything. And they won their first Super Bowl. And I went to the parade with Uncle Tony and Aunt Monica.
Oh shit.
I don't remember who else was with us. I don't know if any other cousins, but
I was there, but not with family.
Right. I was with them, and we left right before all that shit started on the first parade. And I asked Chris, I wasn't at that episode yet, and I asked Chris, did they show the parade? He said, not really. I said, I guess. Then I got there, and I was like, they didn't show nothing about what happened.
Yeah, it went crazy.
Yeah. And watching it now, it's a pretty good series, and it's cool that Chris can see how it used to be.
Yeah.
And how it was America's team back then and all this and that. Right now I'm on an episode of the 96 Cowboys where after they won the Super Bowl, after Deion came and all that. So I remember when I went to the Navy in 96, right? So we were the champions at that point because I went in July and the season started September. And everybody hated the Cowboys unless you were from here, right? So I remember going to Chicago and they asked where you from, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, where you from? I said, from Dallas. And they're like, oh, you're a Cowboys fan? Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan. Do more push-ups because you're a Cowboys fan. You know, and it was a pride
But you always
thing.
weren't a Cowboys fan. I remember you being a Houston fan.
But they were my AFC team.
Okay.
Right? But I was always a Cowboys fan. But I think part of it was Dad wasn't a Cowboys fan, right? So it was, but I was never I wasn't like a Steelers fan or, you know, it was Houston. And I think that made it even more, being that, you know, people used to give me shit because I'm from Dallas.
Yeah.
And I had to be associated with the Cowboys. And that made me more, that's what turned me to a diehard Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Right? So I said it before, I won't jump ship. I won't be a Redskins fan or Eagles fan, nothing like that. I don't really go for championships, you
Yeah.
know. And I wore this today because I had it in the closet. I haven't worn in a long time because I never have. This is like my only baby blue shirt besides a Rangers shirt that I have. And I was like, you know what? I already know that until Jerry does something different, and I don't want to be those, oh, Jerry Jones, whatever. But
typical Cowboy fan.
I'm not gonna buy merch. I'm not gonna go to the game until something changes.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna wear my. They just traded Michael Parsons, which in the background scene, I get it, right?
It's gonna business. Be Arch, gonna get that boy Arch.
But at the same time, I haven't bought a Cowboys hat in a long time. Nice to buy one every year.
Yeah, yeah.
Or a jersey or a shirt I haven't bought because I don't want to support a team that's not doing nothing.
Hey, they setting it up to get rid of Dak.
Could be, but the thing is, that stadium's still gonna be full. That's gonna be 90,000 people in that stadium. Jerry's gonna be richest motherfucker in the world. I think he's number 2 or number 1 as far as sports franchise in the world, and it's crazy.
Yeah, you know, I never been big on football. You brought up Grace and Chris and
that's what I did because Uncle Tony was a fucking diehard. Yeah. He couldn't say nothing about the Cowboys.
No, hell no. Yeah. You know, he used to tell me, you know, you don't like the Cowboys and get the fuck out of Dallas. You know, he used to tell me, had his little cases filled with shit. You know, during the Cowboys run, you know, I remember handing out money to everybody, and that Monica getting mad at him, like, put your fucking money. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's you know, Cowboys always. I think about him. You know, I was real close to Uncle Tony. Rest in peace to one of the greats.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's. I mean, when think about Cowboys, it was always Uncle Tony. Everybody knew. You know, you know, he had from the Cowboy Wheaties box to
everything. All kinds of shit. Dr. Pepper bottle.
Yeah, all kinds of shit. You know, and Cowboys remind me of him. So, like you said, you know, all his kids were Cowboys fans. You know, it's funny. Me and Grace were talking about him last week, and you know, he's a cool guy, man. He you know, I did his funeral and at Monica's funeral, and that's some good memories of him. You know what I'm saying? I think it was my confirmation. He was my padrino, but diehard fucking Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
You couldn't talk no shit about the Cowboys in front of him, and or he'd get on your ass. But yeah, they made that big trade. Like I said, I'm not big on football, but I know that was something that was going on. But I think, you know, Jerry Jones ain't stupid. He's got a lot of pull.
He's a businessman, you know.
He's got a lot of pull. So if he's gonna make a big trade like that, he's gonna end up winning at the end. Whether it's in Super Bowls or just grabbing a good player, you know, because Cowboys have had real good players the last few years. They just can't win shit. But like I said, I think it's a setup to get old Arch from Longhorns. I mean, what a better story
than at Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's a better story than to play for the Longhorns?
They lost yesterday.
Come on they did. They did. So, but yeah, man. Back to what we're talking about, you know, the birthdays and all that. You know, tomorrow's birthday, so y'all put it up in the comments. You know what I'm saying? September 1st. You know, but yeah, Cynthia brought up some good points. You know, we're gonna dive in, get a little bit more personal. I think we agreed. You know, we gotta, we gotta talk about our lives a little bit more, put some people out there. You know, as far as I go, you know, it was funny. I was talking to Leslie. You know, I've been drinking a lot lately. I don't know why. I've been really drinking during the week. But on the weekends, I've been drinking. Yeah. You know, I don't know why. I don't know if it's work or, you know, I don't know. It's a switch up for me. But so I get to texting. I get to calling people. You know, I called Kathy. They went to Canada. Did I tell you? They went to Canada for a big Rush convention, I guess you would call it. You know, the group Rush. You never heard of them?
Yeah, but I mean,
well, Texas big on them.
Yeah.
And I guess they had this big festival. There you go, in Canada. So they went out there, and you know, I hit her up, and then, you know, I got Dolores and Grace's numbers from the Quinces, so I've been hitting them up, you know, talking to them. I don't know. I love family. You know, we started talking about beefing, and I was like, well, I ain't got no beef with nobody. I said, so hopefully ain't nobody got no beef with me. You know, I ain't talked to this person, but, you know, and we'll dive into it more. Maybe it's a setup for the next episode, but, you know, I get thinking, like, how do families get to beefing like that? You know what I mean? Like, when we were young, you know, our parents were always into beef with this uncle, that uncle, grandma, whatever. And I used to always say as a young kid, like, how can brothers and sisters be mad at each other that way? You know what I mean? And then obviously we've experienced stuff in our lives that bring it into perspective. But, you know, how do families get to that point? You know what I mean? Like, You know, and you know, we're a big Hispanic family. You know, lots of cousins, lots of uncles, aunts. You know,
Well,
and
yeah, we can bring it up next. This is like a segue to the
yeah,
next
yeah,
episode,
yeah.
but there was beef between us for a little bit, but we knew where it was coming. We figured out where it was coming from.
Me and you.
Yeah, because I think I sat down with you. I was like, "Look, this is what's being said. If you hear something, come to me, right?"
Yeah.
And you felt the same way. I think we were both
Being played against each other
and tired of the shit.
for other people's.
So I think when I brought it up to you, you were thinking the same thing. Like, just bring it up to me and don't let this shit fuck with us, right? And I think since then,
And that's the thing that in the beginning when I kind of brought up that you never, you know, I don't really remember us beefing. I know there was always some issues, but I'm glad that we were able to.
I think we killed it before the beef started.
And that's one thing that I appreciate about you, and I'm glad that we have that. You know, you get family like right now. You know, it's gonna be a setup. We got family that we ain't talked to, and you know, and we'll get into it in probably close to 10 years.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I said
so
that
you
too.
get family that gets mad and just ignores you, or you know, and cuts you off.
Yeah.
And it's like, "Hey, why don't we just figure out what the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one conversation probably could have deaded this shit years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, how do families get to that point? And in the long run, it's sad, you know. But eventually, you become older and you ain't got time for the bullshit.
And that's where
You know what I mean?
we're both at that point now. It's like, just don't want it.
You got time for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, like I told Cynthia yesterday after she dogged the shit out of us, made us feel this fucking little, made us feel our worst
I was
critic.
ready to throw all these mics
Hey,
away.
man, yeah, man. We almost ended two bros last night, man, over one sister. You know what I mean? One wife. But no, you know, it just, you know, puts things in perspective. Like, man, life is too short. And one thing, you know, like I said, like I told Cynthia when she said, I said, you know, sis, I said, will this ever go anywhere? Million subscribers, monetize? Who knows? Probably not. But I said, but I get to chill with my brother every Sunday and chop it up, and that's what I look at.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I even said, you know, when one of us dies, whoever goes first, we're gonna have some good memories. So that's what life's all about, man. Life is short, man, and by the time you know it, it pass you by, and the next time you see that one person, it might be at their funeral, or even if you're invited to the funeral, you may have too much guilt to even fucking go to the funeral. You know what I mean? Or you might show up and motherfuckers like, where the fuck you here for?
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, maybe we'll dive into it next week. I think it's about that time, but you know, that's how I feel about certain things, man. I may see this person at their funeral, and if I show up, what kind of shit am I going to get, you know, from certain people? So, you know, like I said, we'll set it up maybe for next week. You know, obviously, if you know who we're talking about, you know, we're talking about our parents and our little brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, we ain't got enough time. It's a happy day birthday, but it is something that, you know, Cynthia brought up, like, you know, y'all need to bring up.
And we talked about it when we first started this. When will we hit it? When will we touch it? How do we get to that point? And that's what we said. It'll come natural. It'll eventually come out.
You know, but you know, and I've thought about it too. But you know, even you know, something. You know, I was talking to Leslie and Kathy, which are my closest cousins. Don't take no offense to nobody else. They just you know, and they didn't know we had a sister. Well, you got a sister. I'm like, damn, I never told y'all at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we got a sister.
That's a whole nother thing,
you know, and
because we have different perspectives on that.
Yeah, you know, I chose to meet her. I still have a relationship to her to this day. You chose not to meet her.
Yeah.
You know, nothing bad, nothing good. Just was like, hey, you know, I'm good. You know, so you know, there's a lot of shit that you know, we talk a lot about other people. Maybe we just got to talk about us a little bit. You know what I mean, and get it out there. That's why, you know, I told Meyer, you know, I'm glad with, and I think I told Cynthia and you last night that I'm glad we're doing this podcast because I get to see your kids a little bit more. You know what I mean? You know, Chris, I probably, besides you guys, and I may be wrong, but besides you guys here, I probably talk to him more than any other family member that he has on both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I told her, I said, I just want them to know, you know, the Acevedos are not many, just to know that their uncle on their dad's side had love for them. You know what I mean? And shit like that. So, you know, it is what it is. Family. I love family, man. I love all my cousins, my uncles. You know, back in the day when mom and dad would beef with people, they'd be expecting us to have their beefs too, and I'd be like, "That's y'all shit, not mine."
Yeah, like there's always been that for whatever reason, but what's always been good for me is that, let's say they have beef with one of the uncles or aunts or whatever, they never put it on us.
Who?
Any of them.
Our mom and dad or our aunts?
No, our aunts and uncles.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
It would never be like, well, what are you doing here?
Yeah, or, no, hell no.
It would be like, how you been?
Yeah.
You know, come here, what you been up to? And it was never between us, and you gotta love them 100% for that.
Yeah, you know? For sure.
And
I think that's why and all our cousins were all equal, but I think maybe that's why we have a little bit more respect from our cousins, because they saw that, hey, even though you went to the Navy, but me more, you were gone, even though we're beefing with their mom and dad, they're always here.
Yeah.
Steven's always here.
Yeah.
He's not mad at, and when I'd show up, they would, you know, because I've always been known to be the street guy, the gamer, whatever. So they knew I was not shy.
And when I came home, I tried to make an effort to make those rounds, right? Let me go see Aunt Monica.
Yeah.
Let me go see, where's Uncle Lawrence, or Uncle Eddie's not living all the way in Fort Worth, or something like that. You know, I always try to make those rounds.
So when I would show up, I could feel the temperature. Like, okay, what kind of vibe is he on?
Yeah.
We just got into it with his mom.
Yeah.
But it was like, they ain't got shit to do with me. Let's party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why I you know, and I was around. Obviously, you were gone for quite a while, and that's probably why I got a little bit closer with some cousins that you were closer with before I left, because they were more your age, you know. But I got older and we hung around. But nah, I mean, that's one thing too. You know, you can't beef because of your other family. You know what I mean? Like if your parents or your brother, your sister, you know, and you know, like I said, we're gonna dive more into it. But you know, I feel like with our little brother, that's what happened with us.
Yeah.
Mom and dad were mad at y'all, so I'm mad at y'all. You know what I mean? And like I said, we don't even know, you know. But I'm just glad that we were always able to understand each other. You know, we kind of went through the same things, you know, just different periods with our wives and stuff like that. Luckily, we got two wives that don't take no shit and will tell us when we're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And you need that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And kept us in perspective. But I enjoy this relationship. Like I said, you know, it's your birthday, what, 45? The big
47.
47? God
47.
damn.
Yeah.
Fuck. So you're getting up there. So I'm just glad, like I said, you know, and that's what, you know, some of the cousins like Leslie, Kathy, you know, even when I did the funerals for Aunt Monica and Uncle Tony, I was like, you know, y'all used to babysit me.
Yeah.
Now I'm standing here as a man, as an adult, just like y'all. So it's cool to have those relationships as adults, especially brothers. You know, I got two guys. I got a guy at work. He works for me, for our company, but his brother works for another company. And I always see his brother, you talk to so-and-so. Nah, we don't see each other. You know, and I hate that. You know what I mean? You know, I hate that. I love family. You know, I got everybody's number. I get to drinking, bro. I'm fucking hitting up Dolores, Valerie, Louis. Shit, I be hitting up Aunt Cecilia, Aunt Janetta. I ain't bullshit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I be like, fuck. But you know, also, you know, I'm proud to be a grandpa, so I'm sending my pictures of the baby to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, I just love family, man. When I pass, I just want people to say good things, to know the real me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you never know. You know, that one text, somebody going through something might help them what they're going through.
You're right.
You know?
You're right about that. And that's why I still get upset at myself when I bad at keeping in contact with everybody. You know, and I think they understand that.
Yeah.
You know,
but we're different. You work a lot. You're an entrepreneur. You got a job, plus you got a store, plus your wife's work. Me, I'm like we talked about it yesterday, sleeping in on Saturdays. And you know, for us, we work the normal 9 to 5. So fuck, if you want to sleep in all day Saturday, we can. You guys, Saturday, like I said, that's y'all's booming time.
In the morning,
the store, you know, she be getting the Oak Cliff eyebrows on fleek on Saturdays for the night. So our Saturdays are different than y'all Saturdays. You know what I mean? But forgot where I was going with that. The fucking Maker's Mark. Where was it? Oh, so I can sit there on a Friday night drinking, calling, hitting people up. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it's funny. I'm gonna put it out there. We're gonna see who's really listening. So, you know, we do the cuz giving, the cuz miss and all that. And that's what's fucked up about families beefing, man. you know, you cool with this one? You're like, yeah, we do this, you know, we do that. But,
yeah.
And then and I hit up Leslie. You know, I was like, I got a confession to make. She's like, what? You telling all my business? I go, no. I ain't that type of person. I ain't telling none of your business, girl. I ain't telling none of your tea. I said, but I may have invited somebody to Cuzgiving that may not be getting along with
Who'd you invite?
people. Oh man, we gonna put it out there.
Well, you told her they're gonna show up.
Well, I don't know. Everybody's probably like, they talking about me. Steven done invited me. You know. Well, oh man, we're gonna fuck it. We're gonna put it out there.
Or don't.
No, we'll put it out there. Fuck it. We're gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it raw. So I was telling Dolores, yeah, you know, she goes, I don't see my cousins that much. I go, yeah, you know, we're all spread out. You know, every year we do a Cuzgiving.
Yeah.
You know, we do a Cuzmas and oh yeah, I would love to go. Where's it at? I'm like, well, we do Thanksgiving at Gabriel. And I hope you talk to Gabriel. Valerie's there. Like, I don't talk to Gabriel and Valerie. I'm like, fuck. I don't know. She goes, but I'm down to make up, see what's going on, you know.
It could have been all of the branch that they need.
That's it. Yeah. But Leslie's like, nah. I'm like,
so how do you invite somebody?
Well, I was like, I may have invited somebody that I don't know if they know. Okay. She goes, well, you need to tell Gabriel. No, I'm thinking about just popping. No, she goes, you got to say something because what if the other person don't show up? I said, well, you got to show up. It's his house. Yeah. She's like, you need to tell her. I'm like, well, because first she was like, oh, we're not going to make it this year. We're going to be in Oklahoma at a tournament. But we never do it on time. I think Christmas, we did like the middle of January.
Right.
I said, well, that's when I told her. I said, well, I kind of invited somebody and I need you there. I was going to say, hey, where did you come from? And then that's when you take over.
Yeah.
She's like, hell no. So either y'all going to watch it and y'all going to know, but, you know, I'm going to have that conversation with Gary. And I said, well, look, you know, it's the holidays. And if she's not invited, then I just have to. That's a bite. Well, I don't know. I got my fucking alcohol, man. Get you into some shit, you know. But that's the thing, man, is that I'm cool with everybody. So, and the more the merrier, you know. We've invited you guys, you know. It's not something that we seclude ourselves on doing. It's just we're all live in the same area. You know, sports is a thing, you know. And
I get it.
And more people have come throughout the years, you know. But it's like, fuck, like I don't know who gets along with who, so.
I mean, Steven might be the mediator for, you know, getting everything back to the way it's supposed to be.
Like 4th of July, we always got together.
Yeah.
Usually it's me, Leslie, and Gabriel's families. I think, did y'all go out one year? No, that was after the funeral. But we've invited you guys out there too.
Yeah.
But Gabriel didn't go this year. And I'm like, fuck, who the fuck's he mad at now?
Yeah.
He mad at me? Did I do something? and that's a fucked up feeling to have. Like, it shouldn't be that way. When somebody don't show up to something that we always doing, like, fuck, are they mad at me? Are they mad at me? But like, no, he had a baseball tournament. He's busy. They went over here. But fucking up tradition, cuz. You know what I mean? But I guess maybe let us know. Well, I don't know how many whites, blacks, Mexicans we have listening, but I know Mexican family is always drama.
Yeah.
You know, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, oh, fuck, who they mad? You know, we're all adults. You know, hopefully whatever the issue is, it can be solved. And sometimes it's a simple conversation.
Or it maybe won't be solved, but at least be cordial or whatever, like, you know.
So maybe I will be that olive branch, you know, or maybe I'm going to be the one that fucks it all up and it never happens again, you know what I'm saying? So, but no, shout out to Gabriel, man. He hosts it every year. So if you listen to this, call me. If not, we're going to have a conversation soon. Before Thanksgiving.
Or he might be, you know what, fuck it.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to be there, fuck it.
No, let it go. Like, or...
No, if you don't want to be there, but can we still have it there? You know, and who knows, maybe the wife is like, Alicia, love Alicia, she cool the motherfucker too. Maybe she's like, hey, y'all need to dead this shit. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, and that's what gets affected the most, man. We're all grown. We're all a family, man. We all love each other, you know. And but I told him, oh shit, I was like, I have a confession to make. It's been weighing on my mind. So from now on, please don't talk to me about holidays. You know what I mean? I don't want to invite.
Because then, you know, Steven gets to these drunk text message rants.
Fucking alcohol, man. You know, Aunt Cecilia's probably like, what the hell? What the hell?
Who's it gonna be this weekend? You say you
if I haven't hollered at you in the last month or so on a Friday or Saturday, that means I ain't got your number. So send me your number. Like Chris, you know, we'll be texting with Chris. We be watching the same shit. I'm like, damn, cuz. And Friday I was drinking by myself, and he was like, That's another one. I got to break it tomorrow. Then invited him for a whole weekend to stay at the crib. We don't know when, though. We're going to set it up.
Yeah.
But, he's like, oh, your buddies, man, I wish I lived closer. We'd be there, And I'm sure he's cool to fuck to drink with, It's somebody that grew up. I hadn't seen him as an adult besides at the Quince, catch up. He seems like a cool motherfucker. We actually watch almost everything the same.
Oh, shit.
But I think he'd also get along with Isaiah very well.
Yeah.
They're young. Isaiah's a drinker. Yeah. And they both, I think, like wrestling and shit like that. So, I mean, who better else to hang out with and be your friends and your family? You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So, like I said, with you guys, it's different. You guys are on the fucking go all the time. Reason I invited y'all Saturday, because I know you always said Saturday nights y'all are kind of free. So, but shout out to all the family, man, all the uncles, Uncle Lawrence. I talk to him every week. I'm drunk when I text him, but I text him all the time regardless when I'm not drunk. I think last time I called him, I was drunk and I was like, man, life sucks, man. He's like, boy, shut the fuck up. Drink your cold beer. Life is life, motherfucker. I think I was having a
You want to talk about life sucks?
I think I was having a bad day that day, but that's good. Uncle Lawrence always, it's kind of like the way with me and Chris, I hit him up. What's up, nephew? He'd be like, what's up, punk? That's how me and Uncle Lawrence, I'm like, what's up, punk? But he always says, what's up, young man? And one thing I respect about Uncle Lawrence is not afraid to say I love you. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And that's big. He always ends it with love you guys. And I remember, I don't remember if it was in San Antonio at Theo Kiko's funeral, rest in peace, or Aunt Dana's funeral, rest in peace. But I remember I told Uncle Eddie, I was like, yeah, man, all right, man, love you, man. And he's like looking at me like, what the fuck? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? But, it's all right for men, so, like I said, he's been a figure, a staple in my life the last 4, 5, 6 years or whatever. That give me some good advice. And I know if I hit him up, say I'm having a bad day, you want to meet up, he'll be there. You know what I'm saying? So family, man, love him, man. All my aunts, my uncles, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to everybody, man. We got a beautiful family.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And
like I said, it's I don't reach out a lot, but when I've been around the uncles, Eddie, Lawrence, whoever, it's all love.
They love to see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody understands. I mean, you get older. I mean, even with your parents, you get older and you start having your own family. You know, and sometimes it's up to the parent to make that effort to go see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like with Nathan and the baby, I'm like, okay, is the baby gonna be at your mom's house this weekend? I'll fucking go over there. You know what I mean? Type shit. I really don't won't go out of my way to visit at her house. I really don't get along with her mom and dad over there. They try stirring up some shit, and I don't like that. So I'm like, but if they're fucking in Fort Worth at one of the, I'll go see them. You know what I mean? So you just got to make time for family. At the same time, like you said, you don't have really, you're busy. You don't reach out. Well, who do they reach out to you? It goes both ways.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It goes both ways. You're on Choris, you got social media. Hey, what's up, cuz? How's it going? Type shit. You know what I mean? And I love Alex. Grace was like, what about Alex? Y'all beefing? I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, hell no. I told Leslie, I was like, 3 cousins. I said, I invited somebody. He's like, who? Like, you got 3 guesses, and Alex was one of them. I was like, hell no, I wish. I would love to see Alex. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then who else did she say? I can't remember who else she said. But she didn't guess it. As soon as I said the Lord, she's like, ooh, that type of shit. You know what I mean? And shout out to Dolores too, man. She cool. I was like, I've been drinking, so I was like, hey girl, what's up with your TikTok? There be some sad shit.
I know.
What you going through? And she be like, I told my, you be seeing Dolores, and she just be looking in the camera and be like, girl, you are powerful. You are this. And she just be all like, awkward. You know what I'm saying? Well, I say, hey, I've been drinking because of, I'm like, man, what are you going through? You know what I mean? Like, you were a friend and I loved you. Now my heart is crushed. I'm like, swipe awkward. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe she dropped off the podcast by now.
No, she watching it now. Well, that's what I tell her.
No, I'm saying by because we know.
Oh, yeah. But regardless, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about. Yeah. But and we was talking, and I'm getting little vibes. Plus, I'm drinking, whatever. And she's like, man, you know what? It's easier when you have family support. So maybe she needs a little bit of support. That's what I'm getting at. You know, Kathy, like I said, you know, we talked, you know, we text, I called her. She probably knew I was drinking. I'm like, hey, I didn't want to text, I called you, you know what I mean? You know, so shout out. If you're my cousin, my uncle, whatever, and I ain't hit you up, that means I ain't got your number, man.
Or if he does hit you up, just listen.
Yeah, yeah. Just listen. And you know, like I said, I'm hitting, you know, texting Janetta. What's up, Tia? How you doing? You know, but I think it brings joy to them.
I bet they're happy to hear from
exactly.
you. Yeah.
Like, you know, and she's like, oh, hey, mijo, good to hear from you. You know, love you. You know, this and that. Yeah. So just to know that, hey, we here, man. You know, our aunts and uncles, they're getting old. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know, they may not think about me at all, but I think about life a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said before, I'm a reflector. I reminisce. So I remember things, you know, like with Aunt Cecilia being locked out of the house. Remember that one time when we got locked out of the house with her, went to the was the rodeo over there, and we was watching Lucy through that little glass window. I don't know if you remember that.
Little bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, we had to wait for Uncle Raymond to come through and open the door, and just little shit like that. You know, Aunt Janetta, you know, same thing with her. You know, I always say, man, she's the original paparazzi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Original, you know. So I got memories of everybody, and that's why, like I said, you know, I like to show them love. You know, sometimes what they say, give them their flowers.
Yeah.
And let them know that, hey, your nephew, you impacted him. He thinks about you, you know. So, but that's just me. You know, everybody's different. You know, like I said, if you know, like Gabriel, he's gonna listen. You know, I stopped texting him for a while because every time I text him, all I get was a fucking thumb. And I'll be like, hey, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Respond to me. But sometimes you feel like with mine, when we was arguing, I'll give her the heart emoji or the thumbs up. I was like, but I'm being a smart ass.
I hate that thumbs up.
So I don't know if he's telling me that, yeah, whatever, man, whatever, quit bothering me. Or he's like saying like, oh, hell yeah, that's cool. So I'm like, motherfucker, if you can't give me more than the thumb, I ain't gonna text you no more. But and then, you know, he didn't show up to 4th of July. So I'm like, this motherfucker's asking Leslie, is he mad at me for something? What the fuck I do? But everybody gets busy.
Yeah.
You know, baseball season came back, so he's hit me up, showing me videos of his little boy Adrian. So I'm like, okay, we're good. But then, you know, he started sending me shit, and I was just started sending him the fucking
shit.
How do you like him, motherfucker? Instead of saying, oh, that's a good hit.
Yeah.
All right, man, whatever. His thumbs to you, too. The thumb almost became the middle finger for a while.
It can be, because same thing will go back to the wives. Like, we'll be, you know, is that good morning thumbs up. Like, what the fuck? I guess she's still mad.
Well, so go back to that. The way it started after she said, you think yesterday's forgotten or whatever? It first started with, I said, good morning, I love you. And she just said, good morning. And I was like, you don't love me? That's when she said it. That you say everybody. That's when she said, you think you're going to act like last night never happened or something like that? I'm like, yeah, but you still don't love me? You know what I mean? So, but no, shout out to the cousins, man. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the sister-in-law and there and all that, man. I love it.
So I guess we could say next week we'll do the beef episode.
Hey, we'll do a beef episode. We'll do a little deep dive into, you know, our lives, everybody's lives, whatever. Put it in the comments too. What do y'all think about families and beefing? Is that just a Mexican thing, a family thing in general, Mexican, white, black, whatever? Or, you know, do you go through the same shit? You know what I mean? And if you got beef, let's bring it to podcast.
Yeah.
Gabriel, Dolores, come on, we'll bring it on. You know what I mean? We'll get this shit settled.
Yeah.
But there's no beef that should be big enough unless, I mean, there is some things that are unforgivable, but I don't think, hopefully nobody's crossed that line to where just, you know what I'm saying? You know, just like at Dana's funeral, you know, I was with Gabriel and his wife and his family, and, you know, Alice after the funeral was like, I'm like, hey, what's up, cuz? Give her, no, you're over there with them. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's between y'all, guys.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, girl, you know, that ain't got shit to do with me. But at the same time, if I was with Dolores, I wouldn't let her be talking shit about Gabriel.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I'm a Gabriel, I'm like, hey, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Yeah. You know, because when we were in San Antonio, somebody brought up somebody, and I was like, hey, man, I'm cool with both of y'all.
Yeah.
I want to hear that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're going to talk that shit, then I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
Taking my weed with me. So what you want?
For sure.
You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what it is, man. So, you know, but at the same time, I feel like a hypocrite because maybe I need to follow my own advice that I'm giving out there. You know what I'm saying? Because we got our own internal beefs too. So sometimes I feel like I'm a hypocrite and maybe I need to listen to my own shit. You know,
to an extent.
Maybe it's easier said than done to give the advice than to follow the advice. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get a deep dive into that, man. Like I said, tomorrow's the big bro's birthday, man. Wish him a happy birthday. Big brother, best big brother a guy could have. You know what I'm saying? Always been here, always, you know, looked up to him. And your success has pushed me for my success. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a good role model to have. Never judge, never criticize, you know. Nobody. And even if he did judge or criticize me, because I'm sure I wasn't the best little brother either. You know, I'm a hothead. I talk a lot of shit. And whether you ever felt away, you dealt with it and never projected it on me. So I appreciate you for that, man. Love you, bro. Hope you have a good birthday. Started off pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go stop by Michoacan, buy some meat, get fucked up today. That's the goal. No work till Thursday, so
till Thursday. Oh shit.
So I'll get fucked up today. Tomorrow's Monday. I'll recover, and then Tuesday I'm finally going to the fucking doctor. Finally took some days off. We'll see. The guys at work at Meyer say you'll be back at work Tuesday, but I'm gonna try not to.
No, wait till Thursday, like you said.
I got a doctor's appointment. We'll see. You know, I've always said that you'll be fine. Then you go to the doctor, and like 2 weeks later, you're dead. You know what I mean? So we'll see, man. Kind of nervous. Ain't been a doctor in fucking 6 years, maybe 5 at least. So we'll see. Like Goodfellas says, you know, I went to the doctor, gave me 2 weeks to live. Told him I couldn't pay, so he gave me another week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just not paid, and hopefully I can stretch my life on that. Other than that, man, you know, like I said, I'm finally taking some days off. Won't be back to work till Thursday. Plan is just to relax, enjoy myself. Nobody works today or tomorrow, so hang out with Isaiah, have some drinks, and just chill out, man.
That's good.
That's it. Other than that, man, what else you got, bro?
That's it. We're gonna do some stuff. Try to Tony's schedule, depending on what we're gonna do, and the rain, I guess, and go from there, I guess.
Already. Well, I'm glad we got to spend that time last night. Like I said, that was the purpose. You know, I knew we probably wouldn't make it tomorrow, but I didn't want to let the weekend go by with at least hanging out besides the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So next year, my birthday, hopefully invite me. Remember that. Be careful when you're asking somebody to go out, because if you're inviting, you might have to pay for everybody. So unless you got money to pay for everybody,
wait till that paycheck hits.
I'll tell you what. Unless you got money to pay for the people you're inviting, go solo. You know what I mean? Go by yourself.
But just say, you know, like, you know, if somebody's birthday, maybe you can't afford it. Say, hey, bro, you know, I'm at Veracruz. Cheers. I'm having a drink for you.
Oh, there you go. But then you'd be like, motherfucker, why can't you have a drink with me? Why are you cheersing me? Celebrate my birthday without me. Here's to your birthday, man. I'm just sitting at home. Well, I'm a party for you, man. Yeah, so, but it is what it is. It's a good thing when you can take people out that you love and treat. You know what I mean? But that's funny. Your time, you sit there talking about, give me my card. Man, what's up, Cynthia? You got no faith in your brother-in-law, man? Come on, man.
I'll say, it's that. What's the word I always use? The trauma, past trauma.
Well, now she's gonna say, "Oh, that was cool of him." Then she's gonna watch the podcast like that motherfucker didn't even want to pay to begin with. He was forced to pay. If she would have separated it, we would have paid. Man, I was debating the whole time. I'm debating. Okay, man. Okay, I'm gonna pay for it. Not like I said, it wasn't no big deal. We're like, damn, that's gonna offer to pay. Wasn't that? It's just. I'm cheap, man. Yeah. And if I'm gonna fork over a couple $100, I'm gonna analyze that motherfucker for a while. You know what I'm saying? I'm like checking my bank account and okay, we gotta move.
That's like out. That joke.
Nah, I'm fucking around.
Felipe Esparza joke when it's part of it. Like, who ordered gratuity? Yeah. You know, like
I told Meyer, man. You know, this is what we work for. You know what I mean? To go out, be able to have a good time. So, you know, ain't no thing. I just gotta eat noodles the rest of the week. You know what I mean? No, and then let me ask you this: so if somebody pays like I paid yesterday. Should I go home with Cynthia's leftovers that she took? No? Okay. All right. I was wondering that last. I was hungry. I got the money like that. Should I have brought that? I paid for the shit. Y'all still got it or what? I'm about to take that one, but nah, I'm joking.
That's funny.
You know, so do you pay? Do you take all the leftovers? No, but I was joking with Maya. I was like, what were we supposed to do? Divide it? Okay, there was 3 scoops of avocado. I only ate off of 1 scoop, so split that $12 into thirds. I'll pay $4 of the guacamole. Oh shit, that's funny, but it was my pleasure, man. It was my pleasure.
That was a good time.
Other than that, man, I think Mission Get Fucked Up on a Sunday is about to start. I'll buy some menudo, buy some meat for sure, and take it from there, man. Appreciate everybody, all the cousins listening. Love y'all. Keep listening. Hit them comments, hit them subscribes, and
subscribe, and then be ready for start the beef. Is it be Wagyu? Is it be T-bone? Is it gonna be fajitas? Tablitas.
Or is it gonna be fucking round steak?
Yeah.
The old round steak. So we'll see. We'll get into it, man, and we'll take it from there, man.
All right.
Another good episode, bro. Happy birthday. Salute.